Hello, friends, and welcome. We're going to talk about one of the harder problems in the second milestone, and I'll just jump into it here. Get my stuff together. All right. Share my screen. Screen three. Okay, so you're almost done. You got this. Two more questions and the reflection questions, and bam. So, I just want to kind of go through these problems and make sure that they make sense. I'm going to give you an example. Maybe that'll help. Okay. I'm using the Alabama funeral director population data from Module 6. That is not what you should be using. You're going to be using the data from your actual work. I would just copy from column A and put it into here. So this column A is going to be the same as this column A. I just prefer that to having to go back to the other sheet and do formulas that involve the data set. And so we've already done some of these calculations. We're just going to do them again. You've got to do the mean, the standard deviation, and then I'm going to go find the real data point value. I'll meet you here in a second. Okay, so I've got my mean, my standard deviation, my 70th percentile calculated, and I'm ready to find the real data point value. So probably the easiest way to do that for me is to sort this information, continue with the current selection. Okay, that looks good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scroll down to I find about at 87,000. 87,000. Here we go. And I'm not surprised to see that the value is not actually there. This one is pretty close, 87,020. Your value may actually be there. That there's nothing wrong with that. 87,020. Okay. So that's a real data point. I should probably use cell references to show where this is coming from. Come on, Ashenbrenner. Boom. Okay. So I've got these four pieces of information. It says we're going to apply the empirical rule, z-score, comment on whether it makes sense, and then we're going to start. So I did these first four things, and I should have brought over my histogram and make a statement about whether this is normal or skewed. I'm just going to do the histogram the lazy man's way because you're not being assessed on the frequency table here. So, you already did the histogram. You like your histogram, bring it over from milestone one. But also I could just go here and insert a histogram. Okay, here's my histogram. And of course I need to do all of the work. So I'll go ahead and get myself titles and labels and all that. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my graph. I put on labels. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, make it a little bit wider. Okay, things are looking good. I got my histogram, statement of the skew. I'm going to say, what would you say? Yeah, I'm not going to do that one. I'm not sure. I don't think I need it. Let's see. Start with making the 68% statement for the data. You should have done this. I'm just not doing it for you because I don't want to spoil your fun. Now, make a 68% statement. All right. Well, I've got my mean and my standard deviation. And so I should be able to say 68% of the funeral directors have salaries between. All right, now I should do some work here for this, so I got to kind of pause that. I'm going to do wrap text because I'm going to need to see more words there. And I need to have the work so it's clear where it came from. So 68% statement. Oh, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so I got my two numbers ready to finish my sentence between, I'm going to do some rounding here, $48,582 and $104,505. Okay. 60 directors, 68% of the funeral directors have salaries between 40,582 and 104,505. Okay. And the work is in here. So if I need to know where that came from, I can click on your work and I can see it. All right. Now, evaluation of it. We've done this work before. Marrakesh humidity in M5 and M6 or around there. That's a place to look. So I'm going to do my calculations here. I need to find number of values or number of directors, and then the proportion of values. And then I can evaluate whether this is true or not. So let me pause again. Okay, so I did my work. I'm going to go ahead and format this as a percentage and make the evaluation. Now, the 68% statement, I made it. Now I did a check to see what proportion of values are actually within that range. So now I'm going to say, oh my gosh, this worked out perfectly. The skew is involved here. So I might say, well, actually, this is not a normal distribution. So actually, I said that already. So I am a little surprised at the perfect match. I suspect that you're not going to get a perfect match. So be prepared for that. And you're trying to talk about, like, does it match? What are your expectations? And that's it. That's the first hard question. Now we're going to do the second hard question. And I'll go ahead and read the instructions here. Find the 70th percentile. We did that. Now find a data point that's close to the value and construct a question similar. Okay, so this is the part that students find difficult. Construct a question around it. So I'm constructing a question around this real data point value. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So we're working here, and this is actually an example that you can start with. So maybe don't delete this right away, or delete it and put it somewhere else. Copy, paste. All right. So what are we talking about? Funeral directors. Bob is a funeral director. Okay. And let's see, my value in the 70th percentile was that 87,000 number. My real data point, 87,020. So I could say, what percent of funeral directors earn more than $87,020? And I should put a dollar sign in front of that. I guess I haven't really connected Bob in this whole question. So I could say Bob makes $87,020. What percent of funeral directors earn more than, oh, now I can just say Bob. Okay, great. So there was a question about Bob being this height and the 80th percent or something like that in, I think it was M5. So again, that's what I'm referring to. And I gave you an example. This is another example. You have to write your own questions. So if you're struggling with that, let me know because I can help. All right. So now I want to do the work to find the answer to the question. And there's a couple of pieces here. So I want to just do the problem as if it is a normal distribution problem. And so the first part here is that I need to find the percentage more than 87,000. So this is remember when we have a normal distribution, we have this guy here, and we draw a line. The default formula for this always finds the area to the left, and so we want to find what's more than that's the area to the right. So that's the 1 minus formula that I need there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete that, clear my drawings, and set this up. This is 1 equals 1 minus, oh, it's 100%. 100% minus norm dot. I could use norm.s.dist or norm.dist. I'm going to use norm.dist because this means that I don't have to go through the z-score. I can just get there directly. My x value is 87,020. My mean is up here. My standard deviation is up here. And cumulative in Excel is true. If you're in Google Sheets, you don't need cumulative. And so this should give me my, oh my gosh, that's a lot of decimals. I'm going to clean that up. So about 32.5% is my prediction. And so I want to evaluate the answer to see whether it's right. So I'm going to need another COUNTIF here. So I'm going to do the work over here. I should probably just create a little box for you. No, I didn't do it for this one. So I'm going to, it's actually the same as this. So I'm going to copy and paste this, delete those, and then I'm going to put the work in here, and then I'll be able to answer this question. All right, I'm going to pause here. Okay, so I'm there. I've got my number and my proportion, and so I can see that this is pretty close to what was predicted. The real percentage of funeral directors who earn more than Bob is 30%. This is pretty close to 32.5%. I guess I'm not surprised because again, you're thinking about the skew. Is this actually a normal distribution, right? So it's very important in the document. It says, assume this is a normal distribution for the purposes of doing this problem. That's important, and it has implications for whether this is right. Okay, this was extra. I can delete that. Get rid of this merge and center here. Boom, bing, boom. Okay, and then that's it for these hard problems. Okay, I'm gonna post this into YouTube.